Hi, my name is Aditi Prakash. I am from Chanakya National University and presently I am an intern at Let's Click. In this video, we'll be talking about criminal trespass under Indian Penal Code, and let's start with it. So, Section 441 defines criminal trespass, which includes that when somebody enters somebody else's property without their permission with a criminal intent to cause insult, harm or annoyance, then that person is liable for criminal trespass. Now the reason behind this is everybody has the right to enjoy their own property, and nobody should be given the liberty to exploit that property, that personal property of somebody, and put any hindrance to people's right to enjoy their property. So if a person, any person, enters somebody else's property without their permission, it is known as trespass. Now, trespass is of two nature, a civil and criminal. When we talk about the civil nature of this offense, then we talk about the offense where a person enters somebody else's property without their permission. That itself is trespass. When we talk about criminal nature of this offense, then the ingredient of intention to commit a crime, a criminal intention, becomes necessary for a person to be liable under to come under the definition of criminal trespass of IPC. Now it has been numerous times explained in many cases that the intent is extremely important for somebody to be able to do that. Now for example, I'll give you a situation where A enters B's house without B's permission and steals a cow. Now in this case, the person A, i.e. the party A, is liable for criminal trespass and along with theft. Adding to the situation, if A enters B's property, steals a cow, and in the same time hits B and runs away, in this case A will be liable for criminal trespass, theft and assault. So now then we talk about the ingredients of criminal trespass. To summarize it, the ingredients are to constitute the offense of criminal trespass. Basically, two conditions are needed to be fulfilled. One, there should be an entry into somebody else's property, and secondly, that entry should be unlawful and the person entering should remain in that property with a criminal intent to harm the property and cause annoyance to the person. Now, when we talk about a person's property, the property should be in the actual possession of that person. Constructive possession is not included in the definition of criminal trespass. For example, in the case of State of Calcutta versus Abdul Sukar, the court held that a servant entering the property as a constructive entry will not be constituted as criminal trespass. So hence, for a person to be liable for criminal trespass, there should be the property should be in the actual possession of the owner. Now the punishment for criminal trespass is given in section 477 of the IPC. The offender is either punished with imprisonment or of either description for a term which may extend to 3 months, or with fine, or which may extend up to 500 rupees, or both. Now criminal trespass is a very wide topic, and the criminal trespass is too vast to be covered under just one section. Hence it is divided into 22 sections from section 441 to section 462 of the IPC, and it has been divided into 4 categories, which is house trespass, which is section 443, lurking house trespass, which is 444, lurking house trespass by night, section 445, and house breaking, section 446. These are separated because of the conditions that are needed to fulfill these different criterias of trespass, and you can follow up on IPC and look up the sections that I just mentioned to understand the differences between these criteria. In one line, if I have to say, a house trespass is trespassing to the house of another where a man lives and keeps his valuables and belongings. So for the example that I just gave, that was an example of house trespass. Lurking house trespass is the offense of lurking is committed when a house trespass takes place where all the steps are to conceal this offense. Hence, to constitute the lurking house trespass, one should first commit the trespass, then commit house trespass, and then conceal the house of trespass from someone who has the right over that property. For that, to understand this, you can study the case of Prem Bahadur Rai versus State of Sikkim. Lurking house trespass is by night it's given under section 456 of IPC. It's doing the same thing at night and concealing it from the person who who is the owner of the property. And house breaking has a different magnitude, that has different levels that you can understand by reading up section 445 and understanding the magnitude and the depth of this offense. So thank you.